Joe Douglas met with the media today for his pre-draft press conference. Here are my thoughts on what he said. First and foremost, the question started off with tight end. And while Joe Douglas said he's happy with the tight end room, he said that before about other positions, right? So I do expect them to take a hard look at Brock Bowers, and I wouldn't be surprised if they take Brock Bowers at 10. Aaron Rodgers, for all of his time in Green Bay, never had a prime-time tight end. He elevated average tight ends with his play, but having a tight end, I think, of the caliber of Brock Bowers, along with Garrett, along with Mike Williams and Breece Hall out of the backfield, I think it opens up the offense. I think this 2-year window that we have with Aaron Rodgers, I know he said he would want to play 4 years, but let's be realistic. It's a 2-year window. I think you have to get as many weapons as possible. And getting Brock Bowers opens up the offense. He said that basically a tight end of his ilk, of Brock Bowers' eliteness, is worth a top 10 pick. Now, he didn't say Brock Bowers' name specifically, but he said a tight end of that kind of caliber is worth a top 10 pick. I think they're going to take Brock Bowers, and I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't think you should be surprised either if it happens. The other thing he brought up, or that was mentioned, was Zach Wilson was not at voluntary workouts. I understand that he's probably not going to be on the team next year. I think he'll be in training camp, and I think a quarterback will go down on another team, and then that'll give us the opportunity to move on from him. But I'm not surprised that he's not at voluntary workouts while everybody else is. His time here is done. He's already in the process of trying to sell his house. It's not big news that he's not at voluntary workouts. So anybody trying to read into this, it is what it is. He's not going to be on the team. He's not at voluntary workouts. As far as I'm concerned, Zach Wilson doesn't exist anymore. He's no longer on the team. Even if you get, you're only going to get a 6th or a 7th round pick at this point. The market is not there for him. So again, he's not there, and it's not a big deal. But one other thing that was brought up was taking a quarterback in late rounds. And Joe Douglas said he would love to be a quarterback factory, as he put it. And he mentioned almost like the Packers have been, where you draft somebody, you let him sit for 2 or 3 years, and then you start him. And I think that's the correct way to go about bringing in a new quarterback into the league. It's so difficult for these kids that are drafted in the first round to just be thrown out there. And the problem is they have to be thrown out there because you need to make a decision on these guys quick because that 5th-year option is coming up. It's not cost effective, or it's not good for the team to have him sit for a few years, play for a year or 2, and then have to make a decision on him. So I think it's a great thing for these to pick up a later round quarterback. You don't have that 5th-year option that you have to deal with. And if you want to see who I think the Jets should pick in those later rounds, you could check out this video right here.